a standstill, with the Muslims torching every causeway the Christians built, until a Bedouin informant, in exchange for a rich reward, revealed a fort area 4 miles down the street. Cover of darkness in the early mornings of 1250, he dispatched the Templars, with his brother Robert Bonaparte and his men bringing the rear. Their mission was to forward and secure the landing for the main army, which would later follow with the lead. It was a difficult and slippery crossing, and many nights drowned in the damp darkness. But the Templars and Robert managed to make it on the other side. Rather than wait for relief, his younger brother decided to take the initiative and attack the unsuspecting Egyptian camp. The Muslims were so taken unawares that Emir Faradin was hewn down in his tent before he could even grab his sword. Now, in a battle frenzy, Robert threw all caution to the wind and ordered the Crusaders to advance from Faradin's camp to Mansour itself. Guillaume de Salat, the more experienced Templar Grand Master, begged him to stick to the plan and await the lead, only to be upbraided and labeled a coward by Robert. Continued goads and insults overcame Guillaume's wisdom until he cried, "Lift up our banner then, let us go to our death." They charged into the city, hacking and hewing all and sundry, and even managed to reach Sultan al-Salih Ayyub's own palace. There, they were met by a different breed of Muslim warrior, the Mamluks, from an Arabic word meaning own. Slave soldiers, at first of Turkic, later of Circassian origin, that the Ayyubids, especially under the current sultan, had been importing into Egypt in greater and greater numbers and increasingly relying on. From earliest youth, they were purchased or captured, converted to Islam, and trained in a harsh and disciplinary environment for warfare. Although their piety was questionable, each one of them fornicates more than a monkey, steals more than a rat, and is more harmful than a wolf, observed al-Mafrizi. They excelled at holy war. Judged by their leader, Ibn al-Dini, cornerstone of Islam, veteran in his Bible, 123, and especially ruthless little soldier, the Mamluks, finally engaged the Christians inside Mansoura. The narrow city streets made fighting and maneuvering especially difficult for the knights, many of whom were still mounted. Muslim citizens joined the fray by hurling missiles from the windows and the porches of their homes. As a result, the Crusaders, including the king's brother Robert, who had pulled himself in and fought for hours from a house, were butchered to a man. Nearly 300 battle-hardened Templars also fell on that day. Only Grandmaster Guillaume, who lost an eye, and 4 others managed to escape. By now, the media and the main army had crossed the ford and were nearing Faradin's camp. Instead of finding Robert and the Templar fleet, the thundering sound of approaching hoofbeats were heard, and the victorious Mamluks, and now emboldened Muslims, poured out of Mansoura to finish the rest of the Crusaders. A fierce battle ensued and lasted all day. In the midst of the fray, Ravid espied his king. "Never have I seen so fair a knight," he replied. For he seemed by the head and shoulders to tell about his people, and on his head was a gilded helmet, and in his hand a German, large double-handed sword. With so many fighters on both sides, and on such a small strip of land, the fighting was very close, and no one could bow or crossbow. It was a battle of mace and sword between the Turks and our people. Along with the beaten slain on both sides, the sources tell of limbs, useless, gouged eyes, both faces. Chaos, 6 Muslim fighters surrounded the king. They tried to grab his horse's bridle to lead him away. But he alone delivered himself, striking it down with his strokes with his sword. And when his people saw that he was defending himself, they took courage, and many of them abandoned thought of taking flight across the river and flew to the king's side. The day ended with the Muslims retreating back to Mansoura. The Christians had won the fort, though in the Greek cause, secured Faradin's head and captured its organs from the long period. With casualties were high on both sides, it mattered less to the Muslims. Being on the home base, they survived him. As the sun set, bloodied and bruised Louis retreated to the enemy tent. Still unaware of the fate of his little affair, when Husband passed by, the meeting which he drew up after her wall, to which he said, yes, I certainly was in paradise. Silent, he continued the hospital, seeing Louise targets disfigured. Be of good comfort, Gilbert, for never did King of France gain such honor as you have gained this day. For in order to fight your enemies, you have passed over rivers slain, and you have discomfited them, driven them from the field, and taken their engines, and also their tents wherein you were sleepless night. Louis smiled and said, let God be worshipped for all these things. Even as he gave thanks for it, Reveal, who witnessed and recorded this exchange, described tears streaking down the king's face.
Yun na, Prince.
A bridge was quickly erected between the old and new Christian camps, and the French reserves crossed over. Too soon. On Friday, February 11th, after lost prayers, when the sheiks riled the Muslims of Mansour al-Jihad, and in the words of a surviving Templar, the Muslims moved in from every side, that is by land and water, launching horrific attacks on the Christian army. Advancing with lances, swords, various missiles, and shooting from virtually every direction, those who impale the Arabs from morning to evening. They did not cease to harass the resistant Christians, approaching in their audacity so close to engage in hand-to-hand combat and attacking the king's own camp. After fighting a lot, the main leader, and on his other brother, Charles Honfrey, was being overwhelmed. Not about to lose another brother, he rode, swerving amidst his brother's men, with his sword in his fist, and dashed so far among the Turks that they broke the cover of his course with Greek fire. And by this charge that the king made, he succored Charles and his men, and drove the Turks from the camp. Even so, Louis sustained not a few wounds that day, with the anonymous Templar. Moreover, the Sultanate gained heart, and men were rendered pleased by their success. Great As visible, the indigenous Christians, Egypt's Huns, were first to feel the blood of the sense of Islamic triumphalism over Christianity. Elated Muslims throughout the region precipitated popular actions against native Egyptian Christians, including the desecration of Christian holy space. Such collective punishment was always part of the course. Earlier, the Fifth Crusade in Egypt had roused all the Muslim fanaticism from which the monks suffered. Then, the Muslim army, marching to meet the Crusaders in Baghdad, destroyed every Coptic church by which they passed. Even the Church of St. Mark in the suburbs of Alexandria was leveled to the ground. Now, everything turned contrary to our desires. Back in November, when the Crusaders were still in Baghdad, Sultan al-Salih Ayyub had died of illness. This was kept secret until February 28, when his son, Al-Wazan al-Ansha, arrived and became Egypt's latest Ayyubid master. Rather than war against the Crusaders, this was had dismantled ships surreptitiously carried past the Crusader camp in full caravans and reassembled near, and thereby forcibly cutting off their supply line from Abyssinia. Then, he handed plans of war to nature within time. Louis later described it with a loose letter. In some days elapsed, the Sultan's son reached Mansour from the east, and the Egyptians beat their drums and rejoiced at his arrival and received him as their ruler. This gave no small boost to their morale, while on our side, from that point onwards, at what judgment of God I know not, everything turned out contrary to what I was. A plague with different sicknesses broke out, and a general mortality among both men and horses, with the result that there was scarcely any in the army who did not mourn those who had died or were mortally ill. this means the Christian army was reduced, and the greater part of it perished. Many died of starvation.
They decide against playing it in.
What happened
Chance
was
now.
this. As they passed their many
Goalkeeper
dead into
more
the
than
river,
ready for it.
these now rotted corpses have resurfaced and congregated near the impassable makeshift bridge
And that's going to be
connecting
all
the
for the
original
first half
Crusader
here in
camp
Leipzig.
with Faradin's captors camp, thereby polluting the water supply and spreading disease. It took 8 days for 100 laborers to clear the water of the bloated bodies, but by then the damage was done. The toxins in the air.
And the second half begins with the sides locked on level terms. Bronze with the ball again. That's a foul and a free kick.
Well, it looks like a change in tactic. I think they're looking to use the width a bit more now. Whether that's the fullbacks or the wingers, they're right on the line, which is creating more space for others. It's just whether they can take advantage of that now.
And the pass is incomplete. Nicely won. Oh, that's been won really smartly. Could be a chance to break here. That might have ended up being better than it has. They found a way through. Just needs the composure now. Oh, it's offside. So close to getting in there for the chance. It's threaded through by Torres. Oh, he saved it.
Well, he's denied a certain goal there. It's fantastic reflexes.
The ball comes in, and the corner comes to nothing. Pichon, the play just breaking down a little here. Could turn out to be a really good ball. Moves of real promise from meat and drink. And he's on now. Oh, just over. Only that could have been hit from a metre or so further back.
When you look at the stats, it shows just how I feel the game's gone. It's been a brilliant watch. Both sides having a go, creating lots of opportunities. Let's hope that this continues.
A turnaround in possession. Excellent positioning. Oh, it looked like he could have been in there. Brilliant. for offside.
Well, you've got to be more aware of the situation here. Have another touch. Give it time to get back into position.
Good work from the Dons to win it back. This is a good-looking attack from Meat and Drink. Ronaldo! Now, this has to be. Oh, you might have to wait a long time to see anything like this again. Somehow, incredibly, they're now in front. So off we go, 3-2 the score now. Possession again with Meat and Drink. And that is a quality bit of goalkeeping. They've lost it there, and the attack is over. That's crossed the line, it'll be a throw-in. Could get it over now. Excellent reading of the game to win the ball. Promising position, this. Salah! And the threat has gone with the keeper in control. Zanetti. Still pushing forward in search of the equaliser. And the keeper just about able to deal with the danger. This could be a real opportunity for Meat and Drink. Flag up here, offside. Mohamed Salah. Pulls it back. And they've done it! Level again, with not long to go.
If we take a look at this again, he's done well, hasn't he? Got to the byline and had the vision to pick out a teammate. And it makes the striker's job relatively easy. All he has to do is make the right connection. It's a really good goal.
Given away by Meat and Drink. Game brought to a halt. A free kick given for that. Oh, if they score from this, they'll surely win the game. Salah. That's a free kick. You couldn't choose many better spots for one. And it's cleared away off the line. And it goes behind for a corner. A goal now could win the game. In the box it goes. It's cleared. Breathe easier. Good ball in behind. Zanetti. Promising move this. A goal now would surely be the winner. Oh, and he's left his man behind. There is the final whistle. Very little to split the two sides when all is said and done. Stu, your thoughts on what the home side gave to the game?
Well, they're bound to be gutted that they couldn't see that one out. They looked in control for parts of team but just couldn't hold on. I think sleeping so late on, they'll be looking for more next time out, I'm sure.
Marmouche. ولدي إما ولدي أي طيبة في البر تذكر النهاية بعد ما في شاطئ ولدي إما ولدي أي طيبة أحا مرموش
Three, two, one. There goes the ball. Go get it. This play will go into the books now, and you know the next one is going to be a send-it off. Well, there you have it. They have cleanly regained possession. They change of direction here. Now the other way we go. Whistle's gone, and the play will stop. It's an offside. They get the set piece right away. Great read by the defenders. They did a great job. That is, to say the least, a dangerous tackle, certainly deserving of a blue card. Played short, kept us going. That was an easy save in the end. Oh, could be goal! All credit to the goal scorer. Well, you got to think about it. The keeper has a great deal of responsibility. Moving the ball well here. Something might be happening in this one. Look out. Defender has it now.
Shh.
Well, just unable to find a final pass. Right there where things happen. The equalizer. Goal! Oh, level now. Nothing to separate these two sides. Oh, that's a lovely piece of skill. Gain possession with that tackle. Made it safely to a teammate. That's a foul. They've been shown a yellow card. Watch out. Straightforward. No signs about what they just did. Oh, my. Le tiró todo el camión ahí. They're breaking at speed. It's a great read of the play. That's a decent challenge. Well, it turns out to be an easy save in the end. They're starting to move up. Back to the teammate. There it is in the middle of the park. This is great possession-based football. They're trying to break away. Can they find a gap in that defense? Still some work to do from here. Goal! They pulled ahead here. Just what they needed. They've broken the deadlock. Quick ball out. We're moving it. Good movement here as they look to pick out a teammate. The ball is upfield. That attack ended neatly. Hello, there's a good-looking counter. This could be it. Well, there you have it. Better safe than sorry, right? Brilliant passing behind. Great chance here against the keeper. To bring the back level. That's a goal. Goal! It's all level here now. Can they go on and take the lead?
That's my fault.
Clock's been winding down steadily, and we're halfway through this match. What will we see in the second half? Nice looking tackle. You can't go like
Abarık
that. You
son.
cannot be serious. It's going to be a blue card. That was straightforward. No risk taken there. Can they do it? They tested the keeper at least. And the play moves forward now. A beautiful touch. That's a great scoring chance. Oh no, so sorry they missed that one. They're playing with a player down. There it is in the middle of the It's short. Remember that blue-carded player? Well, they're about to re-enter the pitch. They're not wasting time and they're headed back the other way. Oh, they have it. Goal! The extra player really coming into play here. The defense having such a hard time trying to keep them in bay. They have to do way better than that from that sort of position. Quick ball out. We're moving it. Good ball played in behind. That attack ended neatly. Brilliant pass of the
ضعيف.
kind. Look at that. They're carrying it.
لازم يكون بين بوينت نوصل.
And this was for the fans and the stands are going crazy.
It's weak.
Back on their way. Hits it. Good attempt, but a better save. Ever been caught in the wrong spot? That's an offside. Oh, that was simple. They just passed it to another teammate. Well, let's see what they do from here. Moving the ball well up on the right wing. What can they do with this one? They're not wasting time and they're headed back the other way. And it goes out of bounds for a throw. What an elegant way to defend a golden opportunity. That's a well-worked ball. There's a chance. And it's in goal! Not long left here in this match. They're within just one now. Do they have enough time to find an equalizer? That was an easy one for the goalie. A beautiful touch. It's a chance to pull even. And it's coming. Goal! Goal! So late in the match. Will they have enough time to go on and win it from here? That's a good-looking tackle. Oh, and this looks dangerous. Collecting the ball safely. And the whistle's gone. They're offside. They take the set piece right away. We're going into the last 10 seconds. That's a threatening ball. To pull ahead. Nicely done by the goalie and on for a corner kick. Short on the corner. Short pass from the corner. And that's the end of regulation. 4 goals apiece. Can they settle this one in extra time? We're into extra time. This looks nice. Oh, that's it. Great last-ditch effort from the defense. Ball in the halfway point. Well done by the defender to break up that attack. Wonderful move to beat the defender. Whoa, that was a great stop by the keeper. They're starting to move up. That's a great move to find the space in behind. Good challenge. There goes across. It's a few teammates. They couldn't do any better than that, and they're still in this one. No time wasted, and we're back on their way here. It could not break down the defense here. They just won the ball. There was a good challenge. That's a great ball to split the defense. Fantastic stop by the keeper, and this game keeps on going.
I didn't do this. I didn't do that.
There goes the cross. It's a few options available. This could be dangerous. Oh, great positioning by the keeper. Whistle's gone. The play stopped and no card shown. No time wasted here. Free kick taken. Mr. win it. And that's a great save, and it goes out for a corner. And they take the corner. Oh, the whistle had
Put it touch the
and
fucking
Liverpool
ball.
back into danger.
Let's go. Chill out. Oh, it's on me.
Here we go, the first penalty. And the
Nice.
ball's in. Denied by the keeper.
Bayağı gelen
Goal! That was as cool as the penguin's nose. No chance for the keeper. And no problems for the penalty taker.
hoş.
Oh, they have to score this one. Wait, Alderman. Can they win it here? Goal! And they put it away past the keeper.
Oh, really? What? Sure. That's it. It's not fair. It's not fair.